Hey guys, it's the Raw Wrap Up for 1/12/15, the second one of the new year of 2015, second Raw of the new year. Ready to get into it. We got everybody coming in here. Of course, I'm Mike Sorg here at Sorgatron in the Mayhem Studios in Pittsburgh, PA. You can find everything at WrestlingMayhemShow.com, all social medias, all the places to subscribe to this and other things that we're doing, all kinds of wrap-ups, and of course the main show tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. Of course, brought to you as usual, our pizza sponsor, Slice on Broadway. Check them out, sliceonbroadway.com. If you're in the South Hills of Pittsburgh, they got 2 locations, and they got great gourmet, made-from-scratch stuff. So give a shout-out to them and let them know you heard about them on the Raw Wrap-Up of the Wrestling Mayhem Show. With me tonight, representing Poughkeepsie, New York, is Mad Michael.
Oh, yeah, Sorgatron. Yeah, I'm glad to be here on the Raw Wrap-Up. Yeah, guess what, Sorg? Guess what I'm excited about tonight that they announced on Raw? Yeah, dig it!
That's right, he's the Macho Mike tonight.
No, actually, that's not what I was excited about. I like the Naomi Alicia Fox match.
Oh, okay, yeah, hand behind it. Oh, it was the hand tied behind the back, so it was that, the Macho's into a little bit of that bondage stuff, eh?
Exactly, you know it, Sorgatron. You gotta love when they can't really kick out fully because their arms aren't fully to the mat. Yeah.
And also joining us, I know he's drone investigator. He's muted at the moment. I don't know if he's with us, but Mainstream Matt is also with us. So we'll see if
I'm with it.
You're with it. You're with us tonight.
Oh yeah, cup of coffee in the big time, Sorg. Yeah.
Please don't do that. Yeah, I don't like it. No, I don't. Not one little bit.
Well, of course, the big news as broken on TMZ, and I think we'll talk a lot more about Macho Man tomorrow night on the Wrestling Mayhem show itself. But the big news, of course, is the Macho Man being inducted by Hulk Hogan at the Hall of Fame officially. Weird that they were teasing it all night, as it was broken on TMZ, and we are expected to announce this later in the show.
I think did they just announce it when the halftime of the game was?
I'm guessing. I think there was but we were kind of guessing in the hangouts that we do have a lot of, because there's a championship game tonight, so there's that, which makes it weird for everybody else. But
it's one of those rare instances where WWE goes out of its way to deliberately promote its video production department, and it's like, Macho Man's going to be inducted. Don't you want to see the video? You gotta wait and hang around to see it. Don't you want to see what our editors have cooked up? We know you do. You're not gonna get into you put it on.
You're not gonna see it another 30 times beforehand.
Right, but makes you wonder, like, who else is going to go, and like, are we going to get the Genius in this? Because,
no.
But anyways, we'll talk more about the Macho Man situation. Excuse me, going on there. We of course got a lot of Brock Lesnar. Somebody, I saw a tweet that said we went from seeing no Brock Lesnar on Raw to seeing him every hour. Vince is not subtle, and we did get to see a lot of Brock Lesnar. We got a lot of Brock Lesnar talking tonight, which was interesting.
I think this means that Brock is using up all his dates, so he's losing that belt at the Rumble.
Hey, if you're gonna pay to fly the guy in, you might as well get your mileage out of it. Put him on every hour. You're going up against a national championship game. Just keep running them out there, you know.
And I think it's fine. And yeah, I think he's definitely losing it. If Royal Rumble isn't the coming out party for Seth Rollins with the WWE title, I don't know what the hell they're going to do with him. If he's not a guy that's ready-made to run with that title, he has been the guy. He has been the as Randy Orton has had him rematch after rematch, he's been the foil for John Cena, for anybody else. He's been the, aside from John Cena, I think he's been even more focused on than John Cena over the last several months. You
noticed you had that whole closing segment, and you've got Triple H and Stephanie in the ring on the side of Seth Rollins, and how many words did Triple H and Stephanie say? Like, nothing. They gave the mic to Seth, and he just carried the whole. Well, he didn't carry the whole thing, obviously, because Paul Heyman's there too. And
they're at that point. The utmost confidence in this guy. Give him a mic and let him run with these promos. He always has a massive promo on SmackDown too. But then again, SmackDown is usually like, okay, the next layer. Like when John Cena's rolling Raw, you had Daniel Bryan kind of kicking butt over on SmackDown, right? Right now you got Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose main eventing with Seth Rollins in some capacity, right? Or Bray Wyatt maybe on SmackDown, which it's still, basically a John Cena show. But Seth Rollins is always the one against him. When's the last time we didn't have a Seth Rollins focused show in some capacity on Monday Night Raw?
Last week.
What was last week?
Oh no, actually no. Last week was the firing. So.
Yeah, he's still a part of it. He's still a part of it, even though like he's back to give the Authority a little bit of light. It's still so focused on him, and very much was without the Authority for several months. So I think that's been great for him.
And you just know going into this match that Seth is not going to be like although I'm sure he'll do his heelish things. I mean, everything is being set up that Seth Rollins is not afraid. He's not afraid of Lesnar. He's not afraid of Cena, even though he probably should be afraid of Lesnar.
I responded to LeBar.
Lesnar when he's face down on the mat.
Right.
He stood face to face with them in the backstage, Mike, and said what he had to say to him. He didn't run off. I mean, that says a lot to me.
I guess, but I still remember when Brock Lesnar showed up in the cage match, and Seth Rollins was like, "Oh shit, didn't plan for this."
That was a good one. I remember that too.
But great stuff happening there, and I don't know what it is, but I don't know if it's because we haven't had a title match in so long, but it's the right feel for this. That encounter in the back, the encounter at the end of the for the contract signing, and what everybody had to say, and everybody's after everybody in this, and I love the setup. I love that everybody has had that little bit of history, and I think this is way more interesting than what we got in Pittsburgh last year for the Royal Rumble. I'm really looking to. Usually that title match is very much a blow-off match, unless it's something like, hey, we gotta get this title over to The Rock from CM Punk or something, right?
There's a lot of there's a lot of belief, whether it's in the in the crowd that doesn't care what's happening behind the scenes, and even among the people like us who do care what's happening behind the scenes, there's a lot of belief that we could see the title switch at the Royal Rumble, and that makes it very exciting.
I think it's very likely, and I think it's even more. Ooh, I found my light. If it's even more exciting if it's not John Cena that gets it.
I think it also helps that we don't know who's winning the Rumble.
Right.
Because everyone assumed Roman Reigns was winning the Rumble, but now you have Daniel Bryan coming back. That throws a monkey wrench into things. You have this storyline with Dolph Ziggler getting fired. That throws a monkey wrench into things because they love to do returns like that, where a guy will return from something. You also have, I hate to say it, but you have Randy Orton looming in the distance.
You have Randy Orton looming in the distance with an unsettled issue with Seth Rollins still.
Yeah, it's not outside the realm of possibilities that Mania is headlined by Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins for a WWE title.
Not completely. I'm hoping what actually happens is he comes back for a vengeance match at, Fastlane we're having in February now for that pay-per-view?
See, I just have a feeling that somehow Lesnar's going to win the triple threat, and Rollins is going to look to cash in afterwards. He's going to cash in, but then Randy Orton comes out, RKO out of nowhere.
True.
And then Rollins comes out and eliminates Orton from the Rumble, and boom, you got your WrestleMania match.
And I'm still pulling for it. I'd love to see Daniel Bryan and Rollins. I'd love to see them tear the house down at WrestleMania.
I'd rather see Bryan and Lesnar.
I think
Bryan and Rollins we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Bryan and Rollins we've seen.
I'd like to see Bryan versus Lesnar. I'd like to see Bryan versus Cena. Any storyline that involves Bryan going for the title at this point is going to be awesome because he never lost that title. So,
I mean, that could be the whole storyline going into. Like, he's coming back to the site where he won a championship he never lost. Like, I mean, and you have a built-in thing where Daniel Bryan can say, hey, I was told to turn in the WWE Championship when I didn't defend it for a month. Brock Lesnar has had 3 title defenses since he won it in August. Why isn't the Authority stripping him of the championship? Like, you have that built-in thing, and it puts Daniel Bryan right back in the voice of the people who are frustrated with some of the direction that WWE's taken.
We'll talk plenty more about this on the Wrestling Mayhem show and through the weeks here as we lead up to the Royal Rumble. What can happen and speculations for WrestleMania. But I do want to touch on some other things that happened throughout the night. We of course got we actually had a lot of matches tonight. New Day took on Cesaro and Tyson Kidd. Great to see them out there doing fun stuff. How you guys feeling about New Day? They're just kind of there.
Thursday.
My 5-year-old thinks they're great.
Of course. Over with the kids, right?
Is that your 5-year-old? Your 5-year-old has a deep voice.
Roman Reigns and Luke Harper. Okay, kind of getting Reigns back in there, punching people in the face. Alicia Fox and Naomi.
Can we talk about
good
Roman
match?
Reigns
Ridiculous
quickly?
promo.
What about Reigns? About his Jack and the Beanstalk craziness that was happening?
Roman. Why would you want to emulate a guy who was stupid enough to sell his cow for magic beans and then proceeded to invade the home of a giant and rob him and then kill him?
They simply don't have good fairy tales on the Isle of Samoa.
I challenge you to find me anyone who could have made that promo work.
The Rock.
Maybe The Rock, but it ends right there.
No. John Cena can make that work too.
Maybe Mick Foley could make it work too.
Yeah, absolutely. Like,
Point being, you're giving you're not you got good old square peg is once again trying to get crammed into a round hole, and it's not working. Take the man, use what makes him good, and focus on that. Stop trying to make him something stop trying to make him be something that he's not.
I miss Roman Reigns being the explosive guy that punches people in the face.
Mm-hmm.
And just being like the cool low talker in the back with the Shield. I mean, he had charisma when he was in the Shield. He had charisma when he was doing those backstage promos with the Shield. And now they've got him saying some BS that would never come out of his mouth, and it's frustrating.
We had 2 advertisements for Total Divas. Women's matches tonight. Alicia Fox against Naomi, like I mentioned, with the hand tied behind her back.
Naomi is not on Total Divas anymore, Sorg.
Well, Alicia Fox is. The whole angle was that she was jabbing her for being kicked off of Total Divas.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So, and of course the other one, Brie Bella and Paige. Tyson Kidd, amazing as always. Did you guys notice
that shirt?
Can we throw out that Natalya is so confused right now? Because she came out with Tyson Kidd and Cesaro, who are heels, but she's smiling, clapping like they're baby faces. And then she came out with Paige, who was a face, and was frowning like a heel. She doesn't know what's going on.
No. Well, I think she's given a lot of confusing stuff too. A nice notice I saw on Twitter. I don't know if you guys caught this in the Hangout, but Tyson Kidd wearing a Bella Twins pendant.
Oh, that's awesome!
Really?
The one that they were talking about on Total Divas this week.
Well, he was wearing Nikki's hat a couple weeks ago too.
Yes, he was.
Oh, I'm excited for that.
The Ascension. I know, Matt Carlins, you are a fan of the Ascension.
As I told you earlier, it's the shortest guilty pleasure of my entire wrestling fandom existence. I'm not digging their promos anymore. I wish they would say something more quotable so I could put it on at Ascension quotes. But right now, you're going to have to settle for what's on there right now.
They're just not listening to enough. I think they need to have Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho says stuff like that, like the Ride the Lightning and stuff.
Yeah, they just need to listen.
I was listening to his podcast, and he says ridiculous stuff like that in his boner pill ads. So maybe you should have a Jericho quotes, and just transpose that to Ascension, and just be like, this is how it should be.
Sorg, are you suggesting that the Ascension should shill boner pills? Because I fully agree with you.
Apparently, everybody needs to shill boner pills, because it's on the radio a lot. Anyways. Rusev and Dean Ambrose, weird match stoppage thing there, but we gotta, somebody, I don't know when you guys said, probably you, Mike, in the hangout was saying, well, Rusev's not going to lose this one at this point. It was like, yeah, but what creative way are they going to be like, no way, we're going to just have him lay out Dean Ambrose, right? And they didn't. There was an interesting injury thing. He had a match with him on SmackDown, I think, recently as well. So.
Yeah.
But they're not like, oh, great, another match between these two. It's like they're doing something different each time, or maybe it's just that Dean Ambrose is somebody that can make it different each time. So, other than that, interesting Raw. The crowd was dead. New Orleans did not give a crap about the show
sorry,
tonight.
Sorg. I don't blame them. Raw gave so many backstage segments and boring promos. There were so many of them, Sorg. I don't blame New Orleans at all.
What is with this New Year's trend of the backstory promo?
The rumor is that they're auditioning because they don't know who's going to win the Rumble, and everyone's kind of getting a shot to cut a big promo. That's the rumor I've heard, and I'm like, maybe tonight was Big Show's turn, and oh boy.
Really, we need Big Show to win the Rumble at this point?
Big Show's never won one.
No,
and he's always supposedly the favorite. I mean, how can one guy throw the Big Show over the top?
I don't
Could
think
be
anyone's
insane.
ever eliminated the Big Show all by himself from the Royal Rumble, Sorg.
No, definitely not a guy who we can't reference anymore.
What?
And by that I mean Kane, because it's just embarrassing.
Or Cesaro, who picked him up over his head.
Yeah, Kane did that too.
Oh.
And Benoit suplexed him by himself. Yeah,
there's that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that
And The
too.
Rock eliminated him the one time, but then they went to instant replay and they realized that he had not defeated the Big Show.
And Matt Crollins hates instant replay.
All right,
Even
guys.
in
We're
wrestling.
here to talk more wrestling. Of course, you can check this out. Look up the Raw Wrap Up on iTunes and Stitcher, and of course the Wrestling Mayhem show super feed on all those platforms as well. And of course, you can get all this stuff over at WrestlingMayhemShow.com or subscribe to our YouTube channel and look us up on all the social medias. Wrestling Mayhem Show. Thank you.
Sorg, before we
yeah.
sign off, we have a new show.
We do have a new. Are you doing this every week now? Is it official?
Yeah, we are, Sorg.
Okay, it's the Total Divas Wrap Up. It's happening every Sunday night after Total Divas airs, at least here on the East Coast. And you and Jen Carlins,
Yeah.
the missus of the mainstream media.
Wait, Matt, how I forget. How is Jen related to you?
My wow.
There we go.
Well, there you go. Go check that out. It's in the super feed, or you can go get it over at WrestlingMayhemShow.com or under the wrap-ups playlist over on our YouTube channel, where you can subscribe as well. Thank you at MadMike4883 at Mainstream Matt with 1T, and check out his blog as well at mainstreammatt1t.blogspot.com. I'm at Sorgatron. You can check out also sorgatronmedia.com for all the crazy podcasts that we're doing throughout the week, all your geekiness you can come up with. And you see that stuff in the background? I'm going to start growing that soon. We're going to get an Uncle Si Chia Pet going on here in the near future for those on the video. So,
If it gets to be that long, you should shave it like your favorite wrestling beard.
I could. Well, I got a Kermit one too, and I think I'm going to give it some kind of mohawk or something.
Hey, that's none of my business, all right, Sorg?
So, well, there you go. On that note, we'll see you guys next time.